Untamed Unhinged, we ignite. Positivity shining bright. Reptiles, exalt, unite. Untamed Unhinged in the night. Big Flex and Chris spreading the vibe. Eric and the mad scientist, David by my side. Untamed, unhinged, talking reptiles all day. Positivity's our topic in every single way. Untamed, unhinged, we ignite. Positivity shining bright. Reptiles, exalt, unite. Untamed, unhinged in the night. Untamed, unhinged, we ignite. Positivity shining bright. Reptiles, exalt, unite. Untamed, unhinged in the night. Big Flex and Chris spreading the vibe. Eric and the mad scientist, David by my side. Untamed, unhinged, talking reptiles all day. Positivity's our topic in every single way. You will talk with the community's voice, spreading love and knowledge, making noise by choice. Reptiles and exotics, we stand strong. Untamed, unhinged, singing our song. Untamed, unhinged, we ignite. Positivity shining bright. Reptiles, exotics, all unite. Untamed, unhinged in the night.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Untamed and Unhinged Reptile Podcast. We got my co-host EA Snakes Eric and me, of course, Chris, Big Flexing. I'm at a park.
What's going on, everybody?
So our guest today is Alexis from Sati Bit Ranch.
That's right.
Any announcements, Eric?
Yeah. Hancock, Missouri. If you're anywhere around that area, the city council was proposing to ban all exotic animals. So if you live in that area, definitely go check that out. And then go support USARK, become a member, and support USARK Florida and become a member as well there.
All right. Oh, I got to run the sponsor and the banner. All right, let's run the sponsors. And then we'll do that. All right. So let's bring out Alexis. Is that it? On the announcements?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I wrote Hancock, MI. I don't know if that's Missouri or Michigan.
MI?
Yeah. That's Missouri, right? Or is that...
Yeah, it should be. I don't
I'm not good with geography, brother.
Come on now. All right, let's bring out Alexis. Hey, Alexis, how's it going?
What's up, Alexis?
Go ahead and tell us about yourself and what you're working with, what you got.
Okay, my name is Alexis. I've been into animals my whole life, but just recently in the last 3 years, reptiles gone really big really quickly. I have multiple species of snakes. I have a zebra, camel, horses, things of that nature.
Wow. I think you're the first person that we've had on has a zebra.
Yeah, I have zebra.
I'm for sure curious about that because I don't really know a whole lot about farm animals, and then like African animals is like a whole separate thing.
Yeah, so people ask me like, oh, is the zebra like a horse or is he like a donkey? And my answer to that is, oh, he's like a zebra. He's not anything like a horse and he's nothing like my donkeys. So it's really difficult to kind of convince people not to get a zebra because that's what I kind of try to do. If you want them for a pet, they're not good pets. They're good display animals. He's a great display animal, but they can be really aggressive and they're very quick with their teeth and very quick with their feet. And they don't just like get you one time and go away. They'll latch on and not let go. But when you're natural predators or lions and alligators, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm real careful with him and who I allow in with him and things like that.
You got to be able to fight back a little bit, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it's a lion.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. And so that they'll pin them down on their knees and just kind of bite them and stomp them into the ground. And they'll do the same thing with a person if they feel threatened enough. So it's a lot of body language reading, and then it's a lot of if he's not feeling it that day, if I try to work with him and he's not feeling it, then I respect that and I don't do anything with him that day because it's not worth it to get hurt over it, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. I'll be right back.
Yeah, for sure. How's the care of a zebra? Is it similar?
Yeah, it's really similar to a horse. He eats just Bermuda grass, which is just a very low nutritional value grass. If they get something with a lot of sugar and a lot of protein, they'll get foot issues like founder and things. It's bad for them because being a zebra, they're in the wild. They live off of like sticks and low nutritional value things. So it's nice to mimic that in captivity as well. It keeps them healthier.
Gotcha.
Come here. Come here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
I got one of the dumbest questions. Is a zebra black with white stripes or is it white with black stripes?
So my answer to that is they're both, right? But I mean, their skin is black. So if you were to shave a zebra bald, their skin's going to be black, and then the white hairs grow.
Okay.
But also, I like to say like their nose is black, so like their nose and their white stripes over the black base. That's kind of what I tell people.
So they're black with white stripes.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's so awesome. So my question is like, I know you have retics,
Yes, I have two.
and why retics though?
Okay, so great question. My first snake was a retic, and it wasn't supposed to go that way. We were looking for an animal to keep in the house because we had all these outside animals, but nothing inside. We're like, oh, we'd like a nice inside animal. How about a reptile? Sounds great. We were looking at tegus. We were looking at ball pythons. We decided, oh, ball python's probably the easiest to get into being a beginner and not really knowing anything about reptiles and snakes. So we go to this a reptile store local to me. It's specifically just reptiles. He breeds them, he sells them, all that. And we're telling him, hey, we want a ball python. We tell him everything we have in the backyard. We didn't have the camel at the time, but we had the zebra. So we said, oh, we have a zebra, we have horses, this, that, and the other. So he's like, well, and I don't think he meant anything. Like knowing what I know now, I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air on how he handled this. But he was like, no, you're not going to want a ball python. It's going to be boring for you. You're going to want something bigger and better. So he got me, it was my decision. I decided to buy the reticulated python, but I didn't know at the time what a reticulated python was. And I had her, she was like maybe 2 feet long at the time. Now she's pushing 10 feet, but she was a little tiny thing. But to me, she was massive, biggest snake I'd ever held, let alone anything. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll buy her, not really knowing how big she was going to get, not knowing really much of the husbandry. So he sold me a 20-gallon tank to go with her for now. He's like, oh, she's going to outgrow this, but you've got some time. So I'm like, okay, no problem. Take her home, and then we start doing research, right? I'm watching Clint's Reptiles. I'm watching Wicked's Wicked Reptiles, everything I can find. And I'm like looking at this tiny snake in this little terrarium, and I'm looking at the snake on the screen of my YouTube channel. I'm like, what did I get myself into? But I think it worked out for the best. It's really blossomed into something bigger. Now we have 18 ball pythons, 2 reticulated pythons, a red-tailed boa, carpet python, Dumeral's boa, a Mexican black king snake. We've got all kinds now. So blood python. So it's kind of worked out. I would say that it probably doesn't work out as well like this for somebody's first snake being a retic, but I think in this,
but it worked out well for you.
Yeah, I think
it grew into something like definitely, and getting more species. It looks like.
Yeah, we've got a ton now, and it's worked out. We're 3 years into it, and we're doing really well. So,
how long did that 20-gallon last?
Like maybe 4 months.
Right.
Maybe.
No, but that's awesome to hear that. Because sometimes when people get into species that might get a little too big, it might deter them from, the reptiles in general. So that's super cool that you embraced it and grew from it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think sometimes it can work out really poorly for the animal too, because somebody ignorant and not going into it and getting their first snake being a reticulated python, I think is not something I would recommend. But I think that in some cases it works out, but sometimes the animal suffers too.
For sure.
Do you plan on expanding like with reptiles, or are you just staying with what you got?
No,
right
I'd love to expand. We have this whole spare bedroom set up for the reptiles, but we also have an outhouse that we're getting ready to move them all into. It's a little bit bigger than this. And then maybe getting some more species as well. With that, I came into 20 acres somewhere local to me. So we're going to build from the ground up there. And one of the things that we're going to build is a steel building, like a giant shop type for the reptiles, and do, because I've done educational seminars with some of the snakes. I take them to schools and I teach kids about them, and I teach adults about them too, and things like that. So I'd like to open that up to a little bit more of a public setting where people can walk around and see the animals in their enclosures and things like that, and handle them in that environment.
So do you plan on breeding or just keeping?
So the reason we have 18 ball pythons, we were wanting to get into breeding, and we still do. We still have we have beautiful ball pythons that we could do a lot with. We're just kind of hesitant to make that jump because we're 3 years into reptile keeping, right? So breeding would be a whole new ball game for us. We did have an incubator at one point, but we sold it because it was just sitting around. It's one of those things we want to get into, but we're just not sure how to make that leap, right? Like somebody's got to push us off the edge and then we're going to be okay.
I get that because I got a lot of ball pythons too right now. I got like 30. I'm still trying to get rid of.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. You're gonna have them and then have your clutches, and then if they don't sell or find homes, what do you do with them? So that's why we'd like to expand or have somewhere to put them if we don't have the means to rehome them.
So do y'all plan on like becoming a rescuer, like a rescue too, kind of?
So we did a lot of, actually, when we first started, the first year we were in reptiles, we did a lot of rescues, and when it was a lot of trial and error, but we had a lot of good support in the reptile community already, and we knew who to go to and whose information was good and whose information was not so good. So we did have bearded dragons, we did have leopard geckos, we still have a couple leopard geckos. We did have a lot of ball pythons that came from rescue situations where it was either the owner just didn't want to take care of them or didn't know how, or it was the kids and the kid fell out of it or whatever. But we've had them in all states, super emaciated and skinny to obese. We've had them live in the same enclosure with the same feces and dying and decaying rodents for months. So we've done that, rehabbed and rehomed those as well. And that's something that I'd like to do more of as well.
That's awesome.
For sure.
I was going to ask you something else too, along the lines of that. And I just lost it. Like I had it and I lost it right now.
It'll come back to you.
But, yeah, I'm like, what was it? Yeah.
Let me ask real quick, Alexis. What state are you in?
I'm in California. I'm in Southern.
Oh, okay.
She's
I
in
thought
Southern.
for some reason I heard zebra and I'm like, has to be Texas, right?
Yeah.
Has to be Texas.
You would think, right? I would like to. Texas would be nice, but no, I'm in Southern California.
So do you plan on like moving from California or are you staying in California?
For right now, we're staying. We'd like to go somewhere like North Arizona, South Utah, but we'll see. That's a ways away from now.
I don't know. I feel like Arizona would be too hot.
It gets 120 here. I don't know if it's any different there.
Right.
But, I have a career here, so it's kind of hard for me to just uproot that and leave and start over. So
what do you do full time?
I'm a deputy with the sheriff's department out here.
Oh, that's right. You did say that. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because she said that and I was like, yeah, I used to be a SWAT officer for Bexar County.
Yeah, that's super rad.
Yeah, it's a lot different. Some stuff. I don't know if have y'all seen that movie End of Watch?
Yes.
I love that movie.
I do
sad.
too. It's very
It's
true.
sad. Yes. I was gonna say. But they're asking, are you around the Imperial Valley?
I don't know where that's at, so I'm gonna say no. I'm in the high desert area.
Okay, so my question was, I got it. Shit, I just lost it and I had it. No, I would had to deal with like if you were gonna get him like different species.
Yeah, I haven't thought about, I'm pretty good about finding a species I like, doing a bunch of research and then getting it. So I have everything that I've wanted right now. I can't even think off the top of my head what else I would want to bring in. But yeah, I'd like to. I'm not opposed to learning about new species and keeping them.
And how long have you been in the reptile community or the hobby?
Like 3 years.
And who have you been talking to?
Nobody here, like local. I haven't talked to anybody really in person. It's been all YouTube creators, Facebook groups, things like that, social media.
And who's a big one off the top of your head? Who's giving you like the best advice?
Clint's Reptiles is a good one. I like him. I like Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles. I like him a lot. Adam's cool. Those are the two I primarily watch. I like Nerd. Nerd was a big one when I got the retics, because that's what his main thing is. So I watched a lot of Nerd when I brought the retic home, and then I got a second one. So a lot of Nerd with the retics.
She says hi, guys.
So cute.
My granddaughter.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 6 months, I'm gonna be there.
Dude, I forgot, dude. Like, I forgot you're gonna have that baby already. 6 months. 6 months already?
Give or take. February. It's coming soon.
Okay. What was the last question I just asked? I'm sorry.
You asked me who my influencers were, the influencers I liked in the reptile community.
And like, who, when you watch YouTube, who do you watch besides just Best Reptiles?
Yeah, Clint's Reptile, Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles. I can never say that the first time. And Nerd is a big one too.
Nerd. Okay, yeah. Kevin. So you watch Kevin, you watch Wiccans, and
yeah.
I don't know Best Reptiles. I don't think I do.
I like Chandler's Wildlife too, and I like
some more first.
Nolan. I like Nolan too. Yeah.
There's a lot of people here. Elias, Santi. So Jamie. Yeah, trying to get people into the hobby and community for people to like just watch them, see them, get to know them. I saw you on TikTok, so when I saw you on TikTok, I was like, yeah, I want her to come on the show. Because I saw that you had zebras, you had horses, and you have a camel.
I have a camel, yeah.
Dude, she has a camel. Yes.
Yeah.
How hard is it to take care of a camel, first of all?
It's not that hard. He eats what horses eat, so it's not a big deal taking care of him. His the way he interacts with things and the way that he thinks and behaves is different than a horse, so that was a little bit of a learning curve for me. But you just adapt and do it. So he's really cool.
Oh, hey, Danny. But you don't have anything else besides like camels, like ostriches or?
No, I have horses and donkeys. I have sheep and goats, cats, dogs.
Have you ever scared your goat?
Yeah, but they're not fainting goats, so they don't do anything.
No. That's what Chris wants. He wants a fainting goat.
I do, because they're awesome. They just fall over and they faint. I think it's adorable. I don't know. I think it's cute. But that's me. So, what other species do you have there? Like, what else? Like, do you work with right now? I know on your TikTok you said, I want to say sand boas.
I don't have sand boas.
Or rosy boas.
I have a rosy boa. I have a doom rolls boa. I have a red tail boa. The 2 retics, a blood python, 18 ball pythons, a Mexican black king snake, a zebra, of course, a zebra, carpet python, and I think that's it. I think I got it.
Dang.
That's a lot. Nice. In 3 years, that's an impressive.
Yeah,
impressive
collection. Yeah. Actually, Mexican black king snake is actually one of my like top on my list for my next snake. Yeah. I was supposed to get one, but then my job cut, I guess, hours. So yeah. So I had to now wait, be patient, and just gradually get up there. But I mean, I don't know. We'll get there.
He's
super cool.
Bluebird we have. I'm not big into colubrids. We've had milk snakes and king snakes. They're just not my favorite. I don't like getting musked on, and I like when the snake holds on to me and I don't have to hold on to it. So
retic, yeah. Retics hold on. So what do you think about the retics? Do you think they're intelligent?
Yes, I love them, and that's part of the reason I got a second one. I think that they're amazing animals. I think they're very intelligent. I think they're very good, but I also think that not just anybody should have them. They come with, you definitely have to have a deep respect and an understanding of how snakes think and operate, because you don't want to get bit by one. So
yes, definitely don't want to get bit by one.
it's bad publicity for the reptile community if somebody does too. So.
And do you know about USR?
I do know a little bit about USARK, yeah.
Okay. Because I ain't never seen you before, and then I came across you on TikTok. I didn't know about your Instagram till TikTok. So.
Yeah. I think it's cool that TikTok's been a really good platform for me to go live with the reptiles. I get a lot of people in my comment section who were or are afraid of snakes, but they come in to watch because they like what they see. And I think that's super cool too, because the more people I can get unafraid of snakes in a very organic and healthy way, I think is a win for the reptile community as a whole.
Okay, I gotta ask this. I really gotta ask this question: tubs or enclosure?
I have enclosures. But if you're a breeder and you use tubs and it's just a temporary thing until they find a home or whatever, I'm not opposed to it. It is what it is. I think most of the time my ball pythons hide in their hides anyway, so it's probably not much different. But I personally don't keep them in tubs or racks.
Because I like on TikTok, I know a lot of people getting attacked for showing their tubs or their racks versus enclosures. So
Yeah,
now on TikTok, they're going back and forth to like snakes should be kept in enclosures, not tubs. But they're not understanding the concept of breeding and keeping.
Yeah, it's different. It really is different. And sometimes you can keep in a tub if you have a big enough tub for the ball python. They probably like it better because of the opaque sides anyway, as long as they know when it's light and when it's dark out and they have the appropriate things in the tub for them. I don't see it being a problem. The husbandry is right, and if they're eating and they're thriving and they're healthy, I don't see a problem with it.
And there's not people doing enrichments in the tub, so I don't think it's bad. That's a bad thing either.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I got a lot of hate actually on one of my lives for my wall here with my PVC enclosures for the ball pythons. Everything in here is a juvenile, and the two that we do have in here that are adults, they have both sides open, so it's a 2 by 2.5 or something, and they stretch out fine in them. So
whatever works for you, right?
yeah.
Some people prefer tubs, some people prefer enclosures.
Yeah.
What? No Diddy. I have no idea what he's talking about. Sorry.
He said,
I know it said do it in the tub, and he said no Diddy.
That's funny, Will.
All right, take over real quick.
I have a question about your retake, Alexis.
Okay.
It's a female, you said?
I have a female and a male.
The first one, was that the female?
Yes.
Is she 3?
Yeah, she's about 3.
Roughly
3.
Okay. Do you plan on ever building her like an elaborate enclosure?
Yeah.
One day?
Yeah, I do. So she's in a 4x2 right now, and she's doing okay. But I do have a 6x2 for when she's now, and then when she's a little bigger, and then I do have an 8x3x3. So I have, and it's PVC. So I do have that for her too. And then she gets out and she goes outside, and then she's all over me. So she gets out and gets enrichment and stuff, and then she's doing all right. But I do have that 8x3x3 for her too.
I'm very envious of that. Taking your snakes outside and just let them enjoy the sun. But I live in Florida and I have neighbors, so I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, Florida is hard. I mean, my neighbors don't like me for all my animals anyway, so it really doesn't matter to me if I go outside with a big snake on me. It just keeps them a little further away from me, and I like that.
That's awesome. Your retakes, are they any particular morphs or anything like that?
Yeah, my first one, my female, she's a lemon glow. And then my male is a pied.
Oh, nice. Super nice. I was expecting
Okay, I'm sorry guys.
tiger or something.
Yeah, no, I got a lemon glow and a pied.
I think it depends on the species. My ball pythons are approximately size tubs. Some hide, some don't. Depends on the snake's wants. My normals live in 4x2 2x2 foot enclosure.
For sure. I agree with Danny right there.
My doom rolls is also.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Danny.
No, that's something. So what was the last question you asked, Eric?
If Alexis, well, the last question was what morphs were, but I was asking, like in the future, because you know the restakes get pretty big. If one day she wanted to build a, you know, an elaborate enclosure like you see on like YouTube, stuff like that. I don't know. I think like I would love to give some of my species like a big enclosure and make it as naturalistic as possible, but I don't know if they would prefer it, you know, or how it would work. So that's what I asked.
Hey, Alexis, would you do like a podcast for your Instagram? Or
Yeah.
like would you start a podcast?
Yeah, I've toyed with the idea a little bit, but it doesn't go anywhere. It's just always been an idea. But yeah, I would.
And do you do like you don't have a YouTube channel, do you?
I do. I do have a YouTube channel, but don't ask me what the name of it is because it might be Salty Bit.
And were you trying to like do informative videos on there?
Yeah, so I wanted to do informative videos for how to keep snakes correctly and things like that.
Okay. So what is your like 5-year plan?
My 5-year plan is to hopefully be somewhere on a bigger piece of property with that outbuilding with all of my snakes there in their properly sized enclosures and doing educational things and offering the public an opportunity to come in and see and experience reptiles in a positive way, and maybe change some people's minds about how snakes are. You know, my mom is a big no snake person. I grew up with the whole snakes are the devil, it's Satan, don't go near snakes, that whole thing, and here I am with over 20 of them. So I think that's really good knowledge to have, especially with our native species, because I have gopher snakes native, we have rattlesnakes, we have king snakes, things like that, and I think night snakes, and I think that would be really cool to incorporate some natural species we have out here too in that.
Do you ever go herping, Alexis, out there?
Yeah, so I used to go a lot, but not so much anymore recently. I've just been too busy, but I did go. We do have rosy boas, native to us too. I keep saying natural, native to us too. So we have rosy boas, Gila monsters. We have rattlesnakes, king snakes, night snakes. So, and I've found a few of those just out gallivanting. I like to go.
I'm like, if you catch a Gila monster, you can't like ship it and sell it, right? You have to release it back.
I don't know how those laws work. I never really thought about it. I just kind of like see them and then let them go. But that's something to look into.
I know some people do that. Like they'll catch it, sell it, and ship it. But I know in some states you can't. You have to release it back into the wild.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works in California. I know I've caught some like teeny tiny hatchling gopher snakes on our property, and then I've kept them till they get a little bigger because I want them to do well out here, and then I release them, and they do. I see them months later, big, fat, and happy. So I like to do that. But I haven't caught anything to ship it, sell it, ship it. I'm not sure how that works out here.
Huh. Do you have any tarantulas where you're at?
Yeah, so actually a little bit east of me, I was out riding my horse and I saw it was migrations for the tarantulas, and I saw them crawling across the road, and I thought that was really neat.
Gotcha. I'm just getting a gauge of where tarantulas are in the United States.
Yeah, I have 2 of them in this room right now.
What kind?
Yeah.
I'm like, what kind?
One's a pink foot, and the other one is something some guy gave to me. I don't know enough about tarantulas to know the different kinds, but I have another one up there. I don't know what it is. Somebody said something about an Arizona something or other. I don't know them well enough.
Oh, you're talking about the Arizona bird eater or something?
That might be it. I don't really know.
Because I'm like, it's a bird eater, but I mean from Arizona, but that's usually what's in Arizona. That thing's huge, right?
No, it's maybe that big.
I want a Brazilian jewel.
I don't know what that is. I think you should get one. Whatever it is, you should have it.
It's like a pink, colorful tarantula,
Oh, okay.
but it looks like a jewel, legit, like a legit jewel. Super gorgeous. Um, I don't know if you know her. She's always on TikTok too. Daenerys, mother of spiders. She breeds them.
Oh yeah, I've seen her stuff.
Yeah, they're always breeding the Brazilian jewel spiders. I forget what they're called, but yes, I want one. That's like my dream spider. That's the only spider I'm thinking about getting, and maybe jumping spiders because they're not big.
Yeah.
But like if it's a jumping spider, I usually just catch them here by my house.
Yeah, I found jumping spiders out in my backyard too, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. You handle your tarantulas at all?
Nope, I do not.
It's a look we don't touch now.
Yeah, I feed them, I respect them, I love them, but I don't want to handle them.
Understandable.
Still a little scared of them.
Yeah, I just don't. I have no want to hold either one of them, but I respect and love them from a distance. I will feed them, I will love them, but they're gonna stay right there.
I'm like, that's. I remember when they first put their first tarantula on me, I was shaking, and they're like, "Just relax." And I was trembling. My hands were sweating. I was freaking out. It was the scariest thing ever, but I did face my fears. I wanted to face my fears. So
I've never held one, so maybe I should go to somebody who's a little bit more experienced than me with tarantulas and have them help me.
well, it was a reptile expo show, and it was here in San Antonio. It was I want to say it was a shirts expo here in San Antonio, and their mother spiders, they came all the way down from Arizona, and they were here at the show. So I walk in there, and she's like, "Are you gonna hold the spider today?" I was like, "It better be a good one. I don't want to get bit, you know." So she put it on my hand, and I was just trembling, but you know, it was crawling around, walking around my hand, like it didn't bite me.
I'm not afraid of getting bit. I'm afraid of dropping the thing. I don't want to drop it, and then it's loose in the house, and then what?
Well, you would think that, but I don't know. It's just like it sticks to your hand.
Huh. I guess that kind of makes sense.
Oh yeah. So Danny's saying the Brazilian blues or Brazilian blacks are awesome, or our Arizona blonde is the only one we handle right now. So is that what it is?
Blonde. That's what they said mine was.
Oh, well, he says you can handle it.
Oh, not today.
She said, "Nope."
Maybe tomorrow.
Not today, Danny.
Yeah, so, they're beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. I saw a few this weekend. There's some nice blue ones and pink ones, like Chris was talking about. But getting over that fear, it's like I guess what some people find like with snakes, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I was like that when I started with snakes, even, so I understand. Like, I don't know. I guess it's transferable over to the spiders.
I'm just like, what happened? Spilled it? Oh, my grandson just spilled water all over his face.
Well, at least it's water.
Yeah, at least it's water. He's crying now.
Oh.
Look, he's right here. Then.
Poor guy.
But yeah, he should be in a car seat. But my daughter doesn't know how to pack them. See? Sorry, I'm driving, guys.
No, you're good.
Levi, stop.
But the show must go on, right?
Alexis, the enclosures behind you,
yeah,
are they like, I guess they look stackable, right?
Yeah, they are. They're PVC. They're stackable, and the dividers, you can either have each section, each door be a cubby, or you can take the divider out and you can make this whole thing open, or have 3 or 2 or whatever. They're customizable, and I thought that was really cool.
That's awesome.
This over here is a stand, so you can stack them on top of this if you wanted, but we were going to try to make this into an enclosure. We just haven't yet. But yeah, those are really dope because the juvenile little baby ball pythons we have fit in them really nicely. And then I have a blue-eyed leucistic who has both of these spaces open, and he does really well with that space.
That's awesome. No, I just noticed, and they look super neat.
Yeah,
Do they like
there's a
back
Facebook
heat?
marketplace.
Do they have like heat inside? Is it back panel heat or?
Yeah, it's under tank heating in the back. So the back half has like heat tape along the whole thing on the back.
Because I know
what ball python projects are you in?
You want me to go through all my morphs?
No. You don't have to. Just like rough outline.
Rough outline. So we have something to do pandas. We have the two big pandas. We have hides, obviously. I have a blue-eyed Lucy up there. We have a little bit of everything. I have a scaleless head. We have a little bit of everything, so we can kind of pick and choose and pair with whatever and get almost. I don't want to say like everything because there's too many, but we can definitely be open to interpretation and see where we want to go with it. We have a Mojave, some inchies, things like that. So
The panda pies are definitely a good clutch to be like pushed off the edge. You know, that's a good first. Like, would that be your first clutch?
Yeah,
ball pythons. That's a good start in my opinion.
Yeah, so we're up in the air. Gonna maybe start next year. We're not real sure.
I'm just like, what would you like? Is that what you're gonna go for first, our panda pipes?
I think so. But the black pastel female I have isn't full grown yet. So I'm waiting for her to get to see. We have a couple that are ready. I have a Mojave female that's ready. I have a Inchy female that's ready. And then I have some males that I could pair with those two. I just have.
Huh. And what's your favorite? What did you say your favorite morph was?
I like hides.
I like pies too. That's the only thing I want to keep are my pies. So I got ultramel pie, pastel pie. I got a Xantic pie. I got a lot of pies. What I'm trying to produce is my own clown pie, though. I know there's a lot of them out there, but I want to produce my own.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. I got a pied female for my birthday last year. A clown. Did I say something? I clown female for my birthday last year, and she's teeny tiny. But when she gets bigger, I'd like to breed her.
Man, so you got the ball python projects, and your retics, they're male and female, or is it just they're both girls?
Nope, one's female, one's male.
So you plan on breeding them?
I thought about it. I don't know if I will make the jump. I don't know if the supply, the demand is there for them, but I'm not opposed to it.
And what are they again? Both of them?
My female is a lemon glow, and my male is a pied.
Oh man, I would. I just do one clutch and see what happens.
Just to see what it is.
No, not to see what it is, but like, I don't know. That's what I said. Like, I got two super dwarf retics, and I got a male and female. My male's a platinum annuary, which I got from Lucas from Lab Exotics, and then I got my female from CMB Reptiles, but from Reach Out Reptiles.
Okay.
So she's Calatoa. She's like 50% Calatoa, and it's I think a little bit percent of annuary. So if I breed them, they'd be annuary babies. You know, I want to see that annuary.
That'd be cool.
But then I just got my other male, which is like a fire. Sorry, the little boy's crying.
Sorry.
He's tired. I wore him out at the park. Because he doesn't let my daughter sleep at night, so we had to wear him out.
That's right. Do some laps.
I got I got an albino sunfire head. I want to say it's head G-string and Motley, but I think I'm gonna put him to my female and see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really, really neat to see.
But I'm kind of debating though, because now I'm like, I don't know. What if the babies don't sell? And then who? I'm like you in that boat too. Like, I want to make sure they're gonna take care of the babies. You know, tell them, hey, this thing's not gonna stay little, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just get worried. Like when I produce my ball python clutch, I made calico. I made Ghost Banana Calicos, and they all went. I didn't think they were all going to go. They all sell. They all just they were already all claimed because everybody wanted to. At the time, everybody wanted to flex and finesse and snake.
Yeah.
You know.
So.
But so how do you brand yourself out? My next question is.
I don't really. Word of mouth a lot for local to me. I've been going on TikTok Live a lot. I've been doing really well on TikTok Live, so I've just kind of been doing that a couple days a week when I have the time to. But it's just something I dabble in. I wasn't really expecting it to go anywhere. If it did, it was cool. If not, then I mean, it was just something I liked to do. So I didn't really expect anything, but I thought it was really cool that you reached out to ask me to do this because I love to talk. I will yap your ear off, and what better thing to talk about than animals? So
For sure.
Then reptiles and wildlife. That's why I was like, hell yes. When I heard that, yeah, and I went to your page and I was like, dude, she has a zebra, she has a camel, like that's awesome. Like,
Yeah, when it comes to like animals, don't you feel like you can just keep talking to someone longer than you could talk to like a normal person?
yeah,
If you aren't talking about animals.
common with somebody who doesn't like animals. I'm like,
I
I
think
don't have anything to tell you.
it's Allie's Wildlife on Instagram. Hold on, let me get this little boy down. Sorry, he's tired. Let me get him down. But go ahead, Eric.
Alexis, can we switch back to your camel and your zebra? Was
Yeah.
there anything that you had to apply for or fill out to? No, nothing.
Nope. It's you don't need a permit for zebras or camels in California.
Okay. Learn something new. Coming from Florida, like you have to have something.
Yeah, no kidding. But man, Florida's a whole different beast. California, I think, is pretty Loctite in that you can't have ferrets, you can't have sugar gliders, you can't have certain species of animal. Like you can't have deer, you can't have certain species of like antelope or anything like that without a permit. But you can have a zebra without a permit. Like, I don't know. That's wild to me because I trust deer 100% more than I would trust a zebra. They're just that way.
Your camel and your zebra, do you notice like personality differences, or do they act different than? I know like a zebra is not a donkey or a horse, but do they act kind of similar? Do they have their own mannerisms?
Yeah, so some things they do are the same. A lot of, like, in the basis that a zebra and a donkey are both equine, so they're from the same genus. But the zebras, they're just hardwired a little differently. Donkeys love people. They love to work. They love to please. They want to be with you. They're giant puppies. Like, that's how when somebody's like, oh, how are donkeys? I love donkeys. There was a time I had 12 donkeys in my backyard. I love those sons of guns. But the zebra is different. Is like, he doesn't care where you are. He doesn't want really anything to do with you. I can do things with him, but it has to be like positive reinforcement based where he gets a reward after he does something. Sometimes he'll come up and let me just scratch him, but if I bring somebody to the property to see him, he won't go anywhere near them. He'll stick with me. They're very one person animals. I've had him for just over 3 years, and I did a lot of work to get him to where you could just touch him. And I can't even touch all of him. I can't pick up his feet. I can't touch his butt. I can get like down his back, but he really doesn't let me go much further than that. And that's just the way zebras are. And I know that, so I go with him with no expectations. I don't expect him to let me do anything with him except to look at him. And even then, some days he'll run away if I just look at him. So I always say, are we a zebra today? Or are we going to be a little bit more domesticated today? I just kind of base my training or what I'm going to do with him that day, if anything, on that. But I don't have to do anything with him. I think he's a fine display animal. I take care of him. I like to look at him. I like to do the little bit of interacting he lets me. The camels are a domestic species, so they're like puppies too. They come from domestication. He grew up with people, so I got him from a breeder a couple hours away from me, but finding camels is the hardest part where I'm at. They're not very common. So, but he's cool. He'll follow me around. I take him for walks around the neighborhood. He's still a baby, but one day I'd like to ride him.
How many humps does he have?
One. So the single hump camels are cool because they won't spit on you. The single hump camels, they're dromedary camels, and they're native to like Dubai. They're native to sand dunes kind of atmosphere. The two hump camels, the back train camels, they spit, and they like they have the two humps. They're native to like like Southeast Asia mountainous terrain. They come from different places of the world, and they both act a little different. Plus, the two hump camels are like twice the amount of money of a single hump camel.
That's funny.
So I took that money and doubled it up, put it back in my pocket, and then I don't get spit on. So works for me.
Is the camel male or female?
Mine's a male. His name is Ruckus.
So he's about full grown?
He's 2. He's got a little bit of growing to do. He's maybe just over 6 feet tall at the top of his hump. When he's done growing, he's going to be well over 6 feet tall.
That's awesome.
And do you plan on getting another one or no?
Yeah, so camels are herd animals. I have him out with horses and donkeys right now. And while he's happy with that right now, he's going to need more of his own species to hang out with. So I will have to drop another 10 grand or more on a friend for him eventually.
Is that how much camels cost?
Yeah, so that's the low end. I got him. Females cost more. Females are upwards of $20,000. I got him from the breeder as is for 10 grand, and I asked him like, "What does as is mean?" And he's like, "Well, he's not fixed, and he's got like he was in with donkeys and other camels, and they had like bit his neck a little bit, so he had like a little bit. So that's easy enough to take care of. So I was like, yeah, no problem. Here's 10 grand, and took him home."
Man, that seems like a lot of money, but that's as much tigers are too here.
Yeah, zebras are about that too. So.
And so when you got your zebra, it was a baby?
He was about 8 months old.
Man, that's crazy.
Unhandled.
It's just wild. Like, I want a zebra. I want a camel now.
You think so you have one. Get a camel. I fully support you getting a camel.
Camels seem cool. That's like the obvious choice of the 3.
Yeah.
The tiger's not gonna, eat you. The zebra is probably gonna bite you or kick you or whatever.
Yeah.
And the camel, I don't know. In movies, camels seem pretty chill unless they're like making that noise.
Or
they roar. So
or they're like mad because you're messing with them.
But what is pretty terrible, dire consequences, but just don't piss them off.
I'm like, what does Chuck want? Remember when we had Chuck on the show? He wanted a giraffe.
Giraffe.
I mean, she has a camel. People have tigers, zebras. I mean, it's possible. I don't see why he couldn't get a giraffe.
I got to apply for it. So it's funny you mentioned that, because on this 20 acres we're getting, one of the things we're doing is like an animal experience with an Airbnb involved. All this thing. We have all these ideas. But one of the things that I'm in the works for is to get permits to keep giraffe and deer. But it's funny because when you apply for the permits in California and you apply to have deer, one of the animals that's lumped in with deer is giraffes. So if I get a permit to keep deer, I can inherently keep a giraffe. However, I have to somehow come up with $100,000 price tag.
That's a weird combo.
Yeah, it is weird, but it's all something about them being related somehow down the line. I don't know, but California just lumps them all in together, the deer with the giraffe.
Interesting.
That is, right? I'm like,
you wouldn't think that.
I mean, I guess it works though.
What kind of deer are we talking about here?
Like
right?
Your typical whitetail deer.
Typical whitetail. Yep. If you want, you can get a giraffe too.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. All right.
And then 2 weeks later.
Right? This says I can have a giraffe.
Yeah, I have this paper.
Man, it's so crazy though. I'm thinking about it now. Like, where can you get this permit at?
I have to apply through Fish and Wildlife. I have to apply with the county that I live in, and then I have to apply with the state. It's a very lengthy and expensive process, and I'm like not even close to being done with it. So whenever it happens, it happens.
Oh wait, so you started it?
Oh yeah, I started. I've put in applications, how I feel like I'm qualified, and then I also have to do volunteer hours. So I have to do 2 years of volunteer hours at a place like what I want to do. Like if I want to do wildlife rehabilitation, I have to do 2 years volunteer work at a wildlife rehabilitation center. If I want to do like exhibition and education, then I have to go and volunteer somewhere like that. So there is somewhere local to me that I'm going and volunteering at and getting all that. And so just with their deer, like I just have to play with your deer for 2 years and then we'll be straight.
I could play with a deer 2 years. Just
Right?
feed it.
Sounds reasonable. I think I could manage that.
I mean, see, I want venomous, but apparently you have to do like 500 hours to handle venomous now. So
I haven't looked into that. I don't know. I wouldn't mind, I don't think, having venomous snakes, but I don't know. Like I love gaboon vipers. Do I think I could handle a gaboon viper? No, I don't think I could, but I love them.
bro, we're 2 for 2. Remember last night he said Gaboon Viper too. Or
I
Monday.
love vipers.
Danny said Gaboon Viper, right? The albino.
Yeah.
Have you seen the
For me-
albino Gaboon Viper? That's my dream snake right there.
Gorgeous.
Yes, I just want to like build it, like Danny said, build his own room and just leave him in there.
Yeah.
Lock it up. I don't want nobody going in there. Probably just like a little showcase. If I get a shot, build his own big enclosure and just let him roam it.
Yeah, that's how I would do it. I wouldn't handle them well, unless you had to, but I wouldn't like, I don't know. Some of these venomous keepers are crazy free handling their snakes. I think Tyler Nolan's fine, but some of the others probably don't have any business.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I'm not gonna do any name drops, but yeah, I agree.
I'm not gonna do any name drops either.
I'm like, but I agree with you completely, 100%. But there are people though. Like I've had people come on the show. We had a female venomous handler. The only reason she got into it is because of her boyfriend had venomous snakes when she met him. So that was the whole reason she started working with them. So I mean, I think that's I guess that's like a plus though, kind of.
Yeah.
But she said he was a really good venomous handler. He does a free handle, like he uses the hook and stuff, and does it properly. So, but
Responsible.
I don't know. I know a lot of people like on TikTok they do that. I don't know if y'all saw that. Well, I don't know how long you've been on TikTok, but there was a guy on there who had a rattlesnake, baby rattlesnake, in the bed, and he put it on the bed, dude. And his girlfriend got in the bed, sat down, and the snake bit her on the live, bro. On the live.
That's attempted murder.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. The line, like the snake bit her on the live, and I think he started laughing, and she was like, "Dude, I just got bit." Yeah, it was bad, bro. It was so bad. Like there was like 150 people in there. Yeah, you know what that meant. Like
That's so bad for it's bad for like other reasons, but it's also bad for like the reptile community in general, because people who aren't reptile people are going to see that and be like, see, snakes are terrible. Like this, kill them all on sight. And but also, why would you do that? Why would you do that?
because he thought he was being cool. Like he was trying to show off this baby rattlesnake, and he thought he was being cool by doing it, and threw it to his girlfriend. His girlfriend sat back, and the rattlesnake just launched at her and bit her. And if I don't know what happened after that. I don't know. Like they stopped the live, and that was it.
Yeah.
I don't know if she made it. I don't know. They took her to the hospital. I don't know.
And then you have to go into like, okay, is rattlesnake venom something your local hospital is going to have? Because they're not native to everywhere. Like, I don't know.
Good point.
That's true. That is a good point. Like a lot of places don't have certain anti-venom, so
then they have to ship it in. How long is it going to take to get there? And how long has already elapsed since she was bit? I don't know. There's just so many questions there.
I'm just like, why? And give us all a bad name. Like people are already scared of snakes.
Yep.
And the first question is, do they bite? Of course they bite.
Yeah, my answer to that question is, well, anything with a mouth can bite. However, the only thing a snake has to defend itself is its mouth. So that's why we handle them the way we do. That's why we hook train. That's why we develop trust with the animals. That's why we handle them the way we do.
And that's what I tell them too. Like when kids ask me, do they bite? Like, yeah, but it feels like a pinch.
Yeah.
But compared to like a cat bite or a dog bite,
way worse.
a snake bite's not gonna be that bad. It's like 2 little pins. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you yank it and pull it out, like I did one time, and that shit's just gonna drag across your hand.
Yeah, that then it rips you open.
Yes.
I carry or I keep mouthwash in my snake room for accidental feeding response bites.
So does that work though? Like I see people use sanitizer, hand sanitizer, and mouthwash. Yeah.
So I have that for the king snake though. But the mouthwash, yes. I had a children's python, and I had him for over a year. And this thing would bite me every chance he got, no matter what. Like I'm of the opinion snakes are not aggressive. This guy was just like, I don't think he was aggressive. I just think he liked to bite. And it wouldn't matter if I tapped him with a hook or if he was slithering away and I grabbed him or if he was super chill. I would always get a feeding response bite from that snake every time, regardless. So we did the mouthwash and we just put a little bit on his mouth and he let go right away. So that's the only one I've ever had really bite and coil. And he wasn't very big, but it's just I want him off my finger. So so we used mouthwash and it worked.
I'm gonna use that.
Right. Because I heard it, but I've never tried it because I've never had a snake like latch onto me like that. So
yeah, like that snake did it every single time. I finally was like, I don't want to do this anymore, and I sold him.
My spider ball python, whenever she feels the heat, like right next to her head, she'll just open her mouth and start biting. Wrap your arm up. So I'm definitely gonna grab a little thing of mouthwash.
Yeah, try it. I hook train all of my ball pythons. I mean, I'll go in and pick them up. It's funny because if it's somebody who's giving me a ball python and I don't know the snake, I'll reach in and grab it, no problem. But when they're here, then they're hook trained for that reason. I just don't want to get bit if I don't have to. But I have a female spider too, and she has a feeding response of I would compare it to a retic. I'm like, you're like a tiny retic with the way that you just come out of that enclosure like that every time.
yeah, they do, man. I'm talking about my super door free ticks. Now that you say that, yeah, every time I pull that tub open, they launch out. It's the male only though. The female doesn't.
Yeah, my pie's like that a little bit, but he's hook trained. I tap him on the head and then he goes away and I can handle him and he's fine.
Yeah, so like that's what I do too. So check this out. Before I started hook training, I was putting my hand over the heads like this. And yeah. No, I was, and it would work. And they would just and then somebody told me like, hey, you need to stop doing that. I can't remember who it was. I think it was my mentor. He's like, you need to stop doing that because they're gonna bite the hell out of you.
And work until it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, well, it's working for me right now. He's like, yeah, but it's not gonna work when they get bigger.
Nope, no. When they're 16 foot, no.
So yeah, I used to literally just reach in there and put my hand over their head and they wouldn't bite.
That's crazy. I think when I got her, one of the things he sold to me was a hook. And he told me about hook training.
Yeah, I'm getting bit by mosquitoes.
I can't really remember, but I think that's how. And then I just hook train everything. Everything is hook trained.
See, I felt like ball pythons, I didn't hook train. I felt like I could just get them from the back, turn them around, and then take them out. That was easy. Retics, yes. What else? So I have samboas, but I don't hook train them.
Pet sandboxes.
They're like 3 feet. So is my hognoses and my rat snake, my leucistic. She's aggressive only in the tub, but if I take her out, she's chill.
Yeah, I have a couple ball pythons that they just have a really high feeding response and they'll come out of the enclosure at you regardless if they're coiled or not. So I just hook train them, and then if I'm doing those, why not just do the rest of them? So I just do.
Damn, dude, this hour went by quick.
It did.
I didn't realize it was a rating hour until I looked up. It was like 59.54 seconds in. So I don't know if you watch any other podcasts, but after this, there's Wiz and Keys on Balls and Things, right? After us, and then more Forges tonight as well. They're after Balls and Things. And I think right now, Texacoma 2 and Tyler are on right now from also as well. But I wanted you to plug yourself because people are asking where they can find you on Instagram and TikTok. And
that.
Yeah, we had somebody ask you what is your Instagram. So
Allie Wildlife. It's private, but if you just request a follow, I'll just send it.
I mean, you're probably gonna get a lot of requests. Oh, I was like, yeah, Allie Wildlife.
Yeah, it's my Instagram.
And do you have like a Facebook or anything else?
Yeah.
No problem, Jamie. Always. Always shout you guys out. I'm always there in the show too. But yeah.
They got a great show. And then Wiz and Keys also has Mike and Matt on tonight. Mike from Herb Collectors and Matt from Ebony and Ivory. So this should be going on in a little bit right now.
So I do this podcast, and I also run a podcast on Herb Collectors Network. It's called the Retic Rundown. So we do talk about retics over there. If you want to check that out as well, that's on every other Tuesday. So not this Tuesday that passed, we didn't do it. The following Tuesday is coming up. But yeah, we always talk about retics. This podcast, we try to bring everybody on, like to reach out to get them, familiar with US Art and what they do, because a lot of people don't know about US Art and what they do for us. But I'm always looking for like people to bring on. That's why I was in TikTok and I reached out to you and I asked you to hit me up on Instagram. I'm just trying to bring people into the community, get people out there, get people to know you. They have questions, they can come talk to you, because a lot of people will. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the hour of your time, and I appreciate reaching out at all. My TikTok's not very big, so I think it's really cool that you did.
Yeah, I was like, I like this. I'm gonna bring her on the podcast.
I appreciate.
That's why I asked you. That's why I was like, if you had a logo, so we can just go by the logo, or did you want us to go by your name? But I have 3 questions, and I think Eric has 1.
I got my famous last question. Give me 1 second.
Oh.
Well, I'll ask then. So the question is, what do you think of the podcast so far, even though it was kind of unprofessional me being at the park?
I like it. I think it's fine. I think it's organic that way.
So yeah, I was trying to be organic, and then the only reason, like, I have questions I ask based off your Instagram and profile and stuff like that, or from what I catch from TikTok. I try to keep it like that. And my second question is, I don't know have you seen anything in the hobby that you don't agree with?
Yeah. So I don't agree with like the bullying. I feel like when I got started and I only had the retic and I reached out for help because I didn't know where to start. I didn't know who Clint's Reptiles was. I didn't know who Nerd was. I didn't know who anybody was. And when I reached out and asked for help, all I got a lot of hate for having a retic for my first snake. And I was like, well, let's set that aside and let's substitute retic for ball python. Okay, now help me. So I think as a whole, the reptile community could do better with that. I also don't like people doing stupid things just for views or clout. I don't like free handling venomous snakes when you have no idea how to free handle a venomous snake. There are people out there who can do it and do it safely and do it well, and I think that's phenomenal, and I think that's a great way to do it. But there's people out there who have no business. And then it looks bad on us as a community, and then we get laws in place that take away our animals who have nothing to do with any of that, venomous or non.
I agree, 100%.
100%.
I like that. Well, the question to that was, what is one thing you don't like about the industry and one thing you do like about the industry? That's what the question was going to be, but you answered the things you didn't like first. So, how about the things you do like about the community, the hobby, the industry?
Sorry to cut you off. I got a little excited.
No, you're
No,
good.
you
You're
made
good.
perfectly valid
Yeah,
points.
I know she did, right? Like I like the way she did valid points.
Yeah, real world problems that people like getting into like have to deal with. So
Yeah.
thank you for being honest.
Yeah. I do like I like the positivity that the reptile community does have. I think that most of it is positive. I don't think that everybody is a bully and mean. I feel like there's a lot of people out there willing to help and wanting to do good by the animals and good by the people, and doing good with like public outreach and educating instead of fear mongering with snakes. And I think that that's really good.
I agree.
Yep.
And then my last question is for you. If you could change one thing in the hobby, what would it be and why?
My gosh, I came to school unprepared today. I think I would change. Oh gosh, I don't know. I think I would maybe change the way that some people view new people going into the hobby. I'm really new in this hobby. I'm less than 5 years in. I have experience with a lot of different species, even species that I'm not currently keeping that I have kept for any amount of time. And I feel like people could be a little bit more welcoming, especially like on social media where it's easy to hide behind a profile, right? And somebody's genuinely asking for help, or it's not even just me. I've seen it with a lot of other people asking for help with their first snake, whether it's a ball python, whether it's a Burmese python or a retic or a Dumeral's boa, whatever. I feel like people could be a little bit more welcoming, especially because we want this community and this hobby to take off and be viewed in a positive light. It doesn't start that way if you start off rude and mean to somebody. It might just put a bad taste in their mouth, and the whole hobby's bad at that point, right? So, and I would change it for, I think, reasons that are pretty obvious. I want people to feel welcomed in the community, and I want them to want to be educated and go as far as they want to with their reptile keeping.
Hold on. Well, I'm gonna ask one more question because I like these answers. But my other question is, knowing what you know now, what would you go back and tell yourself? You know, back if you could go back in time, what would you tell yourself, knowing what you know now?
I would tell myself not to worry and not to look at Lily is the name of my female retic. I'd tell myself not to look at her with crazy eyes. It's all going to be okay, and she's not going to be some monster, and that I'm going to be okay, and it's all going to work out, and not to worry about it. Let it roll, because it's always going to work itself out.
I like that. All right.
Alexis, can you tell me like a problem or an issue that you ran into with either your reptiles or where you keep your reptiles? Something that you weren't really like prepared for?
Yeah,
or I caught you off guard, excuse me.
My electric bill. So, and the amount of reptiles that we have. When I first started, and we had just the retic, just Lily, I was like, oh my, and I was watching and learning about everybody who had multiple snakes. I'm talking like more than 15. I was like, there's no way on God's green earth that I'm going to have more than 15 snakes. That's insane. And here I am with 25 snakes. So I think that kind of caught me off guard too, because I look around and people in my live have asked me like, how many snakes do you have? I'm like, I have to count. Hold on. And I don't even know, but I think that caught me off guard in my electric bill for sure. Our electric bill has gone up astronomically since the reptiles, but it's worth it, so it's okay.
For sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not awesome that your bill's high, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I think, I thought the show was good. What y'all think?
I loved it.
Yeah,
This is the first time I've ever spoken to someone who has a zebra and a camel.
Bro, I know, right? I just keep expanding the show. Like at first, I just wanted to spread positivity, pretty much. And then I met Eric, and he's been with me since we started. This is actually, you know what, bro? I want to shout this out real quick. This is episode 70, dude. This is how long you've been with me. We're already on episode 70. That's crazy, nice. Bro. You know, and
congrats, bro.
And we're still doing this. So, and then we're about to launch another podcast on Saturdays now. It's me and another person. And I don't know. We're still trying to build up our network. We're trying to get other people, like, if they want to talk about geckos or whatever they want to work with, or just spread anything, they can run it on the podcast. But we're trying to, get people on here, get on board.
Yeah. Alexis, can you repeat your Instagram again? Your IG?
It's Allie Wildlife. ALLIE Wildlife. All one word. No characters or anything. Just Allie Wildlife.
Okay.
And I also want to thank you, Allie, for taking your time. And see, Jamie wants to talk about geckos. Talk about the 6-0 Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs. Don't bring them up now.
Here we go. Getting sports ball involved.
Right? I don't like the Chiefs. Who's your team?
Got DeAndre Hopkins today too. Sorry to get off topic.
Really?
Yeah.
Been there. I didn't want to hear no more. Forget the Chiefs. But thank you, Allie, for coming on the show.
Yeah, you're welcome for having me.
For sure. Thank you. It was great to meet you as well.
Great to meet you. Yeah, both of you.
But really before we go, you gotta say a positive message for everybody watching.
Okay. Go out there and do it. Do the best you can with what you have. Learn about anything you want, and you can do it. I can this in 3 years. You can do whatever you want to do in whatever amount of time you want. Just reach out to positive people, have positive mentors, and weed through the BS. You'll be all right.
And speaking of that, Alexis, if you ever need help, just reach out. We'll send you to the right people. There's a lot of positive people here that you haven't met, and I would love for you to meet them, especially Nicole from Letty Tiss. She's on Instagram. You can tell her I sent you over there. Ask her about her retics. She has a bunch of retics. She's amazing. You got more Forge here. You got Bosa. There's a lot of positive people here in this chat right now. You got Danny with Ball Pythons, Chain Reaction Exotics on Instagram as well. He'll help you out with ball pythons. Good dude. We had him on Monday. Positive guy. Oh, Genetics 101 too. Santi, another ball python breeder. Will, the Python portal. All these guys, all these people on Instagram. They'll help you out.
Y'all go through
I was like, so if you have questions, everybody will help answer anything. So they're there for you. Everybody's positive. Everybody that comes in the show is pretty positive. We don't tolerate the negativity. We don't tolerate that at all. So, but I want to thank you again, Allie. Appreciate it. Sorry, I was everywhere today.
You're good. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate both of you.
But we would like to bring you back for a part 2 if you're interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well then, I don't know. You got anything else to say, Eric?
Yeah. Make somebody's day tomorrow. Go compliment a stranger.
There it is.
Bam. On that note, guys, you already know what time it is. Go check on your loved ones. Lift them up. Never put them down. Don't be a bully. Go show love to everybody, guys. Y'all have a good night. We're out of here. Peace.